Okay, next Cologne. So, today we're going to discuss Toscano Leather. As you can probably tell, it is a clone. We've discussed this before about the differences between replicas and clones, and this was not inspired by Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. This is supposed to be an absolute imitation, and full disclosure, I have never smelled Tuscan Leather. I'm not a fan of Tom Ford. It's funny, we see this in the fragrance world where a lot of these fashion icons come over and make their clones, and that's Tom Ford. Tom Ford is a fashion icon, and it's a little bit like the Ermenegildo Zegnas and the Briones. When they create colognes, they're decent colognes, but people they don't know that they're fashion icons and that their deal isn't cologne, it's fashion. And I've never been a big fan of Tom Ford, particularly when he went into his Gucci days in '94, and I just think that his stuff is okay-ish. I don't think there's anything crazy about his styles, and if it was more reasonably priced, I would probably be more complimentary. But I've never been a big fan of Tom Ford, and I don't necessarily understand the amount of success he's had as well. Like, Daniel Craig wore a Tom Ford O'Connor suit in the James Bond movie. I don't get it. I really don't. Not to say I'm not happy for him or his success, absolutely, but I just don't understand it. So I've never gone out and bought Tom Ford stuff, and the clones are the exact same. So I've never tried Tuscan Leather, and this is going to be a complete blind sniff. From what I hear, it's the closest thing to a 1:1 ratio of Tuscan Leather. Supposedly it's right on the money. So let's go ahead and open her up. I don't know if I said this either, but oh goodness, the maker of Toscano Leather is make sure I'm saying this, Maison Alhambra, which is another one of our favorite Middle Eastern design houses. Have to make sure that the bottom doesn't drop out. The way that these fragrances are, this is just a free fall. So as soon as you start taking this off, it just goes. I know that from experience. It's nice. It has that sort of gold plating. It's nice. It's Al-Haramain, and I don't know about all Al-Haramain or Latafa, but Maison Alhambra, who is, I believe, their sister houses, are undergoing some sort of litigation by Tom Ford because they just get way too close of a copy, but it is what it is. So, here it is. Toscano Leather. Now, I've heard this said. Oh, let's hope it doesn't squeak. Oh, we're good. I've heard it said that leather is one of those sort of polarizing scents that either people like it or they really, really don't like it. So, with that being said, that is one of the reasons why I never wanted to pay definitely full price for this scent. By the way, I guess I was correct. It says it on the bottom. Latafa. So, Latafa. I just love these colognes. I love these colognes. And the Latafa's Camera, which is the clone of the Angel Share, which I have a video on, is just phenomenal, and I love it, and I wore it today, and actually, I don't know if people like it, or if men like it, or if women like it, but I have a giant fluffy Pyrenees, and whenever I came out of the bedroom, he immediately attacked me, and rubbed over me, and I looked like a giant polar bear, because all of his hair was coming out on me, and it was unfortunate. So I can tell you for a fact that Latafa is good if you want to attract Pyrenees. You spray it and the peers appear. So here's our bottle, almost an exact copy of the Tom Ford fragrance. You open it up and it hits you right in the face. So I'm kind of already getting a whiff of what I think I can expect. Real quick, before we put it on paper, let's talk about Tom Ford's. Now, again, I don't like Tom Ford that much, his brand. One of the reasons is Tom Ford, this is Tuscan Leather is one of his signature scents. I can't for the life of me find out who the designer of Tuscan Leather is. When you look up Tom Ford, it says like it's all in-house, but I know that Tom Ford is not back there putting together. People go to school for this. People spend a lot of time in the labs. This guy is not in the labs. So another reason why I don't like Tom Ford, it's very difficult to give credit. I know that the Estee Lauder was his partner for a while, but I have no idea who to credit for the making of Tuscan Leather. Tuscan Leather. It is, for a bottle this size, which is, I believe, it's a 2.7 ounce, 80 milliliters. So, comparing apples to apples, you really can't, because Tuscan Leather doesn't come in an 80 milliliter, but Tuscan Leather is $295 for the 50 mil, and like $450 for the 100 mil, which is unbelievable. I don't know how you can't call that theft, but if people Tuscan Leather came out in 2007, and it says that it's a unisex, but I think it's more of a masculine scent myself. And Tuscan Leather has a 4.28 out of 5 with 7,800 votes. The pros of Tuscan Leather is they say it's sophisticated. Part of perfumery history books. I have no idea what that means, but if I'm going to drop money on a cologne, it's not going to be part of the history books. That's stupid. And they say that it's a soft version of a strong leather fragrance, I guess. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go forward now to Toscano Leather. Toscano Leather was released not long ago. It has a 4.35 out of 5 with 243 votes, so it's ranked higher than Tuscan Leather, but it doesn't have nearly the amount of votes on here. And again, I use Fragrantica. Not that it's the source or anything, I just think it's kind of cool, and it's where I get my notes from. So, let's do a comparison of the notes while we're on the topic. The top notes for Tuscan Leather are raspberry, saffron, and thyme. Toscano Leather, saffron, animal notes. Whatever that means, I don't know. I think it just is a catch-all for leather. And thyme. Middle notes are olibanum and jasmine. Middle notes for Toscano Leather are leather. They introduced the raspberry, and in addition to the jasmine, they put in incense and woody notes, and I think that is what they do instead of the olibanum, which I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's a weird word. I've said it before. It gets weirder every time. The base notes for Tuscan Leather is leather, suede, woody notes, and amber. The base notes for Toscano Leather are leather and amber. So, other than suede and olibanum, it's the exact same makeup, and other than the incense and the addition of the animal notes, it's the same. It's the exact same. So, without further ado, let's put this on paper. Toscano Leather Eau de Parfum. They're both Eau de Parfums, by the way. That's interesting. This top just lifts right off. Maybe there's something wrong with the cap. Is there? Yeah, there's something wrong with the cap. The cap is jacked up. It's coming out. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, that ruined any surprise for me. I got some leakage on the cap. But that's okay. If I didn't say it already, I'm pretty sure I haven't. This bottle of cologne is $30. At least for me it was. Now, supposedly they're discontinuing using these, and they're going to relaunch, so they don't get sued again. Volume. Do I have no, I don't have a batch number. I don't know if they even have batch numbers on here. By the way, that's a good way to check to see if your scent's authentic. I don't think anyone's out there ripping off Latava colognes and Maison Alhambra colognes, but a good way to check to see if your cologne's authentic is the batch number, and then also to see if the batch number on the bottle matches up with the batch number on the box, but there's no batch number here. Another good way to test to see if you have a new cologne is if the atomizer takes a couple sprays, because the fluid's got to get built up. Again, just food for thought. Man, I'm smelling those top notes, and I'm not really that excited, to be honest with you. But let's see. Oh gosh, that was a wet one. Oh yeah. Huh. Okay, I'll give it another one. Goodness, my bottle's leaking. Oh my goodness, so my bottle's leaking. Quality control is not fantastic, but it doesn't really have to be with a cologne of this cost, I guess. Oh my gosh, it's all over me now. Okay. Oh, okay. It kind of, oh my gosh, when you first smell it, it kind of makes you feel like you just walked into like some sort of a cowboy store, like a Boots barn or something like that. I'll bring this over here. Oh my gosh, it kind of, oh my god, it's weird. It smells like a dead animal. It really does. Not necessarily in an offensive way, but the leather is so prominent. Usually I read off the notes, but literally all I'm getting right now is leather, 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 leather. Whatever animal notes was, I'm getting it. I never knew what it meant until now, I guess. The saffron and the thyme, I really can't pick up that much. It's a subtle sweetness, like with the raspberry and the jasmine. It's a very subtle sweetness, but it's not the star of the show. The leather is the star of the show. As it dries, it gets more and more leathery. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, I'm gonna stop smelling that. That is not for me. That is 100% not for me. Here's the thing, and people go out there and they say this is a 1-to-1 clone of Tuscan Leather. People go out there and they spend $400 for this bottle. One, hopefully that doesn't leak. I don't know why it's leaking, but whatever. And this scent is not for everybody. And what that means more so, even more than, oh well, I like it, but other people don't like it, even more than that. Yes, but you're going to be wearing this scent around people. And I got to tell you, if I were seated next to somebody who's wearing this cologne, I would probably leave. I hate to say it, because there is a certain amount of beauty in it, and objectively speaking, it's well blended, and you do get a subtle sweetness, I think, of the raspberry, but it's just such a kick in the face of leather that I don't see the ability to actually wear this. Maybe like a couple sprays in a room or something if you like the scent of leather, but it's so offensive to the nose. And I like leather. I like the scent of leather, and that's too much for me. Holy cow. Yeah, that's... I'm going to give it one more spray because I want to see if it's still going to leak. Is it leaking so if I do that, it's whatever. Let's give it one more spray. Oh, that went right into the iPad. Oh, now my iPad's going to smell like, apparently, leather from Tuscany. smell it. It's I like to use the phrase perfectly inoffensive. This is not perfectly inoffensive. This is very offensive. Yeah, if I were sitting next to someone who was wearing this, I would think that he worked at some sort of farm store, tractor supply, or I would look down at his boots to see if they got tags on them, because it just smells like leather. As it dries, the leather matures more, but it never loses its potency, which I guess if you like leather is a good thing. But quality control was not great on this bottle, but like I said, it's not a $400 bottle, so I don't care. It'll be interesting to add it to the collection, but if it starts smelling like this, I might have to take it and put it in a drawer somewhere. Yeah, Toscano Leather, perfectly offensive. But that's okay. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. More Cologne videos coming at you soon. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, for a leather scent, it absolutely nails it. And again, if you like leather scents, this does it. If you want to try Tuscan Leather, this does it. But for me, I would never wear this. It's offensive to me, and I think it'd be offensive to other people as well. I would give it a 3 out of 10, maybe. And that's just the scent. That's without taking all the other stuff that I've had a problem with into account. So thank you, everybody. I will see you in the next time.